Well, I feel like you've answered part of what my next question is going to be, which is, what is it like to be you? I think people look at like Muji, Gangaji, um, maybe Byron Katie, but you know, being that I know you, and I've been around for I think like 7 years now. Um, I feel like people think that a spiritual guide should look like a certain thing or be a certain way or talk a certain way, things like that. And um, but I feel like if people know more about like what is it like to be you, to be a guide, and what you said before was great. I mean, that was great insight about um, what it's like to function from that space of being a guide and what comes with it as far as the sacrifice. I think that that's really important for people to know, because especially as people are doing work with you, and to understand that this work is priceless, but yet to understand what goes into it from your side. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like so many people just feel like guides are there at their disposal, that they should help them. And that's just what you do. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's not really like that. I mean, it's what you're doing, but at the same time, it's not really like that. Like, it is sacrifice as far as financially, energy wise, time wise, and all of that. Um, but I also feel like, you know, I feel like you're a little bit different as far as guides go, because you're so human. Like, I feel like there's so much that's actually like, even though you're a guide, like, you're very relatable, So I was wondering, like, if you can kind of let people know, like, what is it like to be you doing this work, having the Kumara sensor, things like that. Sorry, wow. That was a really long question.
A really long question. There's no way I can hold all of that. Let's see. Okay.
Sorry.
You're testing me, aren't you? Okay. Let's see. What's it like to be me? I mean, that's just funny, isn't it? What's it like? Well, I will say,
I just want to say the funniest part of that question is that you have no, like, it's like if we say, like, who are you? You're like if you're like, are you married? Yes, but I don't see myself as like a married woman. You know what I mean? Like, there's that whole, because you don't have any attachment to the roles, so it's like, what's it like to be you? Who am I?
That's right. And why I laughed when you said I'm so human.
Yeah, I know.
It's hysterical to me. Oh gosh. Okay. What can I say about being here in this form, in this in this time? And love me. I'll say it from this space, because as a seeker, anybody who would be watching this, let me tell you what it's like to be me, because this is where you're headed. How about that? Will that work? Okay. What it's like to be me, keeping it very simple, is an extraordinary sense of all-pervasive freedom. So in the morning, in waking up, there's nothing heavy that I'm carrying into the day. At night, going to bed, there's nothing heavy that I'm leaving behind, or nothing heavy that I'm worrying about waking up to the next morning. What it's like to be me is to be capable and spend the vast majority of my time just fully present right now with whatever is going on. So it doesn't mean that thoughts don't run. Thoughts can run. They're not mine anyway, so that's fine. Thoughts can run through my awareness, and sometimes I'll move with a thought and look at it and spend time with it. Most of the time, not. The vast majority of the time, there isn't thought because I'm just here. And the beautiful thing in moving into that state of consciousness is just that now I'm just capable of just being here with whatever is. So if it's with you, then I am fully and 100% with you. And in this moment, nothing else exists for me. You understand? Just you. And so you have all of me. And it's such a beautiful thing. And people recognize that. And I'm sure you've all had someone in your life that you really felt like when you were with them, you were really with them. You know, they listened and you could tell they weren't just listening to you, waiting for the next thing they were going to say. They were actually listening and taking in what you were saying to them. And that's just being present. It's hard for the average human being to be in that space, you know, more often than not. Usually it's very rare that you're in that space. And that's just part of the journey, right? Moving back to that. So when your sense of self is not preoccupied with all the things that it identifies with, right? All the things that I think I am. And you're just kind of an empty vessel because I'm not any of it. Then what it leaves is this beautiful space to just be. And to be in whatever that looks like in the moment, right? And it can be in the space of complete peace, regardless of what's going on in the outside world. And that also makes you very capable of dealing with whatever's moving in the moment. Because if there's no attachment to how things should be or shouldn't be, it means that I'm capable of seeing objectively what's going on and then dealing with whatever's going on in a way that allows me to see a bigger picture than most people, because they can only view it through the lens of the personal self that says, well, you know, this is how it should be, so I have to do it this way. And when you're capable of being outside of that, now you can function from a very, very different place. So that's what it's like to be me, I guess. Yeah. And just in love with life and in love with everybody. I mean, you know, I see God everywhere. So what's not to love? Yeah.
And we're all going to get there, no?
Yes. Well, you know, I mean, there's no way you can't. You think God loses itself indefinitely? Of course not. Of course not.
Yeah.